Commander Tewu Park stood at the main window of Orbital Station Delta, his hands clasped tightly behind his back. Through the thick glass, he watched Earth's last defense fleet burn. The blue glow of human ships faded one by one against the endless swarm of red crab vessels. "We've lost the Jupiter line, sir," said Lieutenant Ju Kim. Her voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed her fear. Tae-woo nodded. "How long until they reach us?" 2 hours, maybe less." Around them, the command center buzzed with frantic activity. Screens flashed with battle maps and damage reports. The news was all bad. Humanity was losing, had been losing for 3 years now. The Krav had taken Mars, the moon colonies, and the orbital habitats one by one. An explosion rocked the station. The lights flickered. "Direct hit on level 3, someone shouted. "Hull breach contained." Tae-woo grabbed the command rail as the station stabilized. "Status report. They're breaking through faster than we thought," said Ju, checking her tablet. "New estimate, 1 hour until full breach." Dr. Hyen Lee rushed into the command center, clutching a secure data drive. The xenobiologist's lab coat was stained with coffee from the last impact. "Commander, we need to leave now," Hyen said, his voice low and urgent. "Project Harangi cannot fall into Krav hands. We have orders to evacuate to the mountain facility." Tae-woo frowned. Project Harangi, Tiger in Korean, was above his clearance level. He knew only that it involved genetic research and was deemed humanity's last hope. "We can't just abandon the station," Tae-woo said. Another explosion hit, stronger this time. A support beam crashed down across the room. "Sir," Ju said, "Central Command is ordering full evacuation. The defense line is broken. Earth is..." She paused, swallowing hard. "Earth is being overrun." On the main screen, footage from ground cameras showed the Krav landing ships. The insect-like aliens poured out by the thousands, 6-limbed creatures with hard exoskeletons and compound eyes. They moved with perfect coordination, a hive mind at work. Human soldiers fought bravely, but were quickly overwhelmed by the sheer numbers. "We've never seen so many," Hyen whispered. "The reports were wrong. They're not just taking our planets, they're moving their entire species here." A final explosion rocked the station. The emergency lights flashed red. "Station integrity at 40%, announced the AI system. Evacuation protocols initiated. Tae-woo made his decision. "Lieutenant Kim, get everyone to the escape shuttles. Dr. Lee, secure your research. We leave in 10 minutes." As the command crew rushed to evacuate, Tae-woo took one last look at Earth. The beautiful blue planet was now marked with spreading dark patches where the Krav had begun their ground invasion. The escape shuttle was small and cramped. Tae-woo, Ju-woo, and Hyen squeezed in with 12 other essential personnel. As they pulled away from the dying station, Krav fighters noticed them and gave chase. "Hold on," shouted the pilot, taking the shuttle into a steep dive toward Earth's atmosphere. The shuttle shook violently as they entered atmosphere too fast. Outside, the air turned to flame. Behind them, 3 Krav ships followed. "They're gaining on us," Ju reported. Hyen clutched his data drive tightly to his chest. "If they catch us, it's all over." "Where are we headed?" Tae-woo asked. "Coordinates are locked in," said the pilot. "Mount Taebaek Research Facility. It's hidden deep underground, one of the last secure locations on Earth." As they broke through the clouded layer, the rugged Korean mountains came into view. The shuttle dipped low, flying between peaks to confuse the Krav trackers. "Lose them in the valleys," Tae-woo ordered. The pilot nodded, taking them on a wild path between sharp mountain ridges. One Krav ship crashed into a cliff face. Another lost them in the clouds. Finally, a hidden hangar door opened in the side of a mountain. The shuttle slipped inside just as the massive door closed behind them. They had made it, but Earth was falling. As the hangar door sealed shut, Tae-woo wondered what possible hope Project Harangi could offer against the endless Krav swarm. He would soon find out. The shuttle landing bay closed above them with a heavy rumble. Commander Taewoo Park felt the mountain's weight settle over his head, a shield of stone against the Krav invasion above. Armed soldiers surrounded the shuttle as its doors opened. They wore simple uniforms with no insignia. This place did not officially exist. "Commander Park," a deep voice called out. A tall, older man with gray hair and perfect posture approached. "I am General Minja Choi. Welcome to Facility Baekdu." Taewoo saluted. "General, we barely escaped the orbital station." "You're one of the last military groups to make it," General Choi said. "The Krav have taken most major cities. They move too fast." Dr. Hyun clutched his data drive. "I need to get to the lab immediately. My research." "Of course, Doctor," General Choi nodded. "Lieutenant Kim, please take Dr. Lee to level 5. Commander Park, come with me. There's something you need to see." They took an elevator deep into the mountain. The digital display showed they passed level 10, then 15, before finally stopping at level 20. "How deep does this go?" Taewoo asked. "Deep enough," General Choi answered. "This facility was built 50 years ago, during the first extraterrestrial signals. Our leaders knew we might not be alone, and that not all aliens would be friendly." The elevator doors opened to reveal a massive cave. Taewoo's eyes widened. The natural cavern had been converted into a high-tech research center. Scientists in white coats moved between computer stations. Armed guards stood at key points. "This is the heart of Project Horangi," General Choi said. A woman approached them. She wore a lab coat with a tiger patch on the shoulder. "Commander Park, this is Dr. Yoon Hae-yoon, the project leader," said the general. Dr. Yoon nodded. "We've been expecting you, Commander. Your military record shows exceptional adaptability. You'll need it." "For what?" Taewoo asked. Dr. Yoon led them to a large reinforced window overlooking a separate chamber. Inside was what looked like a jungle habitat. 200 years ago, the Korean tiger went extinct, Dr. Yoon explained. 50 years ago, we brought them back through cloning. But Project Horangi went further. We didn't just resurrect them. We enhanced them. Movement caught Taewoo's eye. Something big moved in the artificial jungle. Then he saw it. A massive white tiger, at least twice the size of any tiger from history books. Its muscles rippled under thick fur as it prowled along the habitat edge. "That's Baeko," Dr. Yoon said with pride. "The first successful enhanced specimen. Larger, stronger, and far more intelligent than any natural tiger." "And this is our weapon against the Krav?" Taewoo asked, disbelief in his voice. General Choi's face was grim. "The Krav have better technology and more numbers, but they have a weakness we only recently discovered." Dr. Yoon pressed a button, and a screen showed footage of a Krav scout party encountering a large cat, a lion, in Africa. The insects froze, then scattered in what looked like panic. "They fear Earth's big cats," Dr. Yoon explained. "Not just a learned fear, a deep, instinctive terror." Dr. Lee's research confirmed it. Something in their genetic memory makes them vulnerable. "So we're going to fight aliens with tigers." Taewoo couldn't hide his skepticism. "Enhanced tigers," Dr. Yoon corrected, "with neural implants that allow limited communication with human partners. The Krav expected humans with guns and bombs. They never expected tigers." A door opened at the far end of the room. Lieutenant Juwoo entered with Dr. Hyun. "Commander," Hyun said excitedly, "the data confirms everything. The Krav evolved from insect species that were natural prey for feline predators. They conquered dozens of worlds, but never any with large cats. That's why they targeted Earth's big cats first in their invasion." General Choi placed a hand on Taewoo's shoulder. "Commander, we need officers to bond with these tigers, to lead them in battle. Our tests show you have the right psychological profile." Taewoo looked again at Baeko, the massive white tiger. As if sensing his gaze, The creature turned and stared directly at him with intelligent golden eyes. "When do we start?" Taewoo asked. "Now," said Dr. Yoon. "Because we're running out of time." Taewoo stood at the edge of the habitat, his heart beating fast. On the other side of the reinforced gate, Baeko, the white tiger, watched him with intelligent eyes. "The neural implant works two ways," Dr. Yoon had explained, fitting a small device behind Taewoo's ear. "The tiger can understand your basic commands, and you will feel what the tiger feels, not thoughts, but emotions, instincts." "Is it safe?" Taewoo asked. Dr. Yoonha smiled slightly. "Safer than what's happening above ground." The gate slid open slowly. Taewoo stepped into the habitat, the soft dirt under his boots. The massive white tiger stood still, watching. "Move slowly," Dr. Yoonha said through the comm system. "Let him come to you." Taewoo took a deep breath. He felt a strange tingling from the device behind his ear. Then something new, a feeling that wasn't his. Curiosity. Caution. The tiger's emotions were flowing into him. Baeko moved forward, each step silent despite his enormous size. The tiger circled Taewoo, sniffing. This close, Taewoo could see the metal implant partially hidden in the tiger's white fur. "Don't show fear," General Choi advised from the observation room. "Tigers respect strength." Taewoo stood his ground as Baeko completed the circle. Then, to everyone's surprise, the tiger sat down in front of him, golden eyes fixed on Taewoo's face. "He's accepting you," Dr. Yoonha said, excitement in her voice. "This is happening much faster than our previous attempts." Taewoo slowly extended his hand. Baeko leaned forward and pressed his massive head against Taewoo's palm. Through the neural link, Taewoo felt something unexpected: trust. "The bond is forming," Dr. Yoonha said. "Try a simple command." "Baeko," Taewoo said firmly. "Stand." The tiger rose to all fours. Through the link, Taewoo could feel the tiger's powerful muscles, its keen senses. It was intoxicating. "Now try to direct him without words," Dr. Yoonha instructed. "Use the link." Taewoo focused his thoughts on a simple command: walk to the tree. He pictured it in his mind. To his amazement, Baeko turned and padded to the exact tree Taewoo had imagined. Behind the observation glass, the scientists applauded. Later, in the command center, Lieutenant Joo Kim studied footage of Taewoo's bond with Baeko. Other officers were being paired with tigers too, but none had formed a connection as strong. "How many enhanced tigers do we have?" Taewoo asked General Choi. 37 ready for combat. "Another 15 still in final stages of growth," the general answered. "Not many against a Krav invasion force of millions, but if Dr. Lee's theory is correct, it might be enough to disrupt their hive mind." Dr. Hyun arrived with a tablet. "Commander, I've been analyzing Krav communication signals. Look at this pattern." He showed a waveform on the screen. When we introduced a recording of a tiger's roar, their communication broke down for 3.7 seconds. "What does that mean?" Joo asked. "It means their fear of feline predators is so deep that it disrupts their hive mind," Hyun explained. "Even for a few seconds, it causes chaos in their ranks." General Choi nodded thoughtfully. A few seconds could be enough in battle. An alarm blared suddenly. Everyone looked up. "Perimeter breach," a soldier called out. "Krav scouts found the mountain entrance. They're trying to break through." General Choi's face darkened. "We're not ready yet. The tigers need more training." "We're out of time," Taewoo said. He stood up and felt Baeko's presence in his mind, ready, eager. "How many tigers can fight now?" 12 have completed basic neural bonding, Dr. Yoonha said. "Then we have 12 tigers," Taewoo said. "Get the handlers. We move out in 10 minutes." As the facility burst into action, Taewoo felt Baeko's anticipation through their link. The tiger wanted to fight, to hunt. This would be their first battle against the Krav. A test of Dr. Lee's theory, a test of Project Orangi. Humanity's desperate gamble was about to begin. The mountain shook as Krav drilling machines bored through the outer layers of rock. Taewoo led his team to the upper entrance tunnel, where soldiers set up defensive positions. "They've broken through the first 2 security doors," Lieutenant Juu reported. 10 minutes until they reached the main hall. Taewoo nodded. In a side chamber, 12 officers stood with their tiger partners. The massive cats were fitted with light armor that protected their vital areas while leaving them free to move. Each tiger had glowing blue lines where neural implants connected to their nervous system. "Remember your training," Taewoo told the officers. "Stay connected to your tiger. Direct, but don't control. They know how to fight better than we do." Baeko pressed against Taewoo's side. Through their link, Taewoo felt the tiger's fierce eagerness. Not fear, anticipation. The white tiger wanted to hunt. "We have visual on the enemy," a soldier called. On the screen, they could see the Krav forces, at least 100 insect-like creatures cutting through the final door with plasma torches. "Ready positions," Taewoo ordered. The tigers and their handlers moved to the entrance hall. Taewoo placed his hand on Baeko's head. "Stay with me," he whispered. The final door glowed red, then melted. Krav scouts poured through, their hard exoskeletons clicking as they moved. They carried energy weapons and moved with perfect coordination, a sign of their hive mind at work. Then they saw the tigers. The effect was instant. The first line of Krav froze. Through the neural link, Taewoo felt Baeko's hunting instinct surge. He sent a single thought: "Go." Baeko roared, a sound so loud it shook dust from the ceiling. The other tigers joined, creating a wall of sound that echoed through the tunnels. The Krav scouts scattered in panic. "Now," Taewoo shouted. The tigers leaped forward with incredible speed. Baeko hit the first Krav with such force that its exoskeleton cracked. The tiger's enhanced claws tore through the alien-like paper. The other tigers followed, ripping into the confused Krav scouts. Through his link with Baeko, Taewoo felt each kill, each powerful strike. The tigers were unstoppable, faster and stronger than any Earth predator had ever been. The Krav's weapons fired wildly, most shots missing as the aliens panicked. "It's working," Juu shouted. She directed her tiger, a female named Bora, to attack the Krav carrying the plasma torches. When the fighting pushed into the tunnel, Taewoo ran alongside Baeko. The white tiger moved like a ghost, striking and disappearing before the Krav could respond. Their perfect coordination broke down completely in the presence of the tigers. Some Krav even fought each other in their confusion. 20 minutes later, it was over. The tunnel floor was covered with broken Krav bodies. Not a single tiger had fallen, though 3 had minor injuries from energy weapons. "Report," General Choi called over the comm. "Tunnel secure," Taewoo answered. "All Krav scouts eliminated. No survivors to report back." "Outstanding," the general said. "Return to base." Back at the facility, Dr. Hyen examined the Krav remains. "Look at this," he told Taewoo, pointing to a Krav brain. The neural patterns show complete shutdown of higher functions. These creatures didn't just fear the tigers, they were terrified beyond rational thought. "Can we use that?" Taewoo asked. "Absolutely," Dr. Hyen nodded. "I have a theory about their communication system. The fear response creates a feedback loop in their hive mind. If we can trigger it on a larger scale." Dr. Yunha joined them. "The tigers performed better than we hoped. Their neural implants recorded everything. We can use the data to improve the next generation." "How soon until the next batch is ready?" Taewoo asked. 2 weeks, she answered. "But the Krav will be back sooner, and in greater numbers. They know we're here now." General Choi studied the battle footage. "We need a new strategy. We can't just defend. We need to take the fight to them." Taewoo felt Baeko's presence in his mind, satisfied from the hunt, but still hungry for more. "I have an idea," he said. something the Krav won't expect. The tigers had proven themselves in defense. Now it was time to show what they could do on the attack. 3 days after the battle, Dr. Haiyan Li called an emergency meeting. The main lab was filled with screens showing Krav DNA patterns and brain scans. Taewoo, Jiwoo, General Choi, and Dr. Yuna gathered around the central table. "I found something incredible," Dr. Haiyan said, excitement clear in his voice. He pointed to a DNA strand on the main screen. "This is Krav DNA. And this," he switched to another image, "is DNA from an ancient Earth insect, a type of beetle that lived 50 million years ago." "They look similar," Jiwoo noted. "More than similar," Dr. Haiyan said. "They share key marker sequences, specifically in the regions that control fear responses." Dr. Yunha leaned forward. "Are you saying the Krav are related to Earth insects?" "Not directly related," Dr. Haiyan shook his head. "But they evolved in a remarkably similar way. And here's the key. These Earth insects evolved specifically to fear and avoid big cats. The genetic coding for that fear response is almost identical in the Krav." Taewoo frowned. "How is that possible?" "Convergent evolution," Dr. Haiyan explained. "Similar environmental pressures can create similar adaptations on different planets. The Krav must have evolved on a world with predators very similar to Earth's big cats." General Choi nodded slowly. "That explains why they've been systematically hunting big cats to extinction on Earth." "Exactly," Dr. Haiyan agreed. "Every colony they've conquered, every planet they've taken, one of their first actions is to eliminate apex predators, especially feline ones. It's not strategic, it's instinctive." Dr. Yuna brought up new data on her tablet. "I've been analyzing the neural recordings from the tigers during the battle. The Krav don't just fear the tigers, they experience a complete system shutdown. Their hive mind collapses in the presence of feline predators." General Choi stood straighter. "In my family, there are stories passed down for generations. During the Joseon dynasty, Korean warriors used tiger pelts and images in battle. They knew tigers struck fear into their enemies." "Tiger warfare," Taewoo said thoughtfully. "Yes," the general nodded. "Small groups would use tiger symbols to cause fear and confusion before attacking. They could defeat much larger forces this way." Taewoo felt Baeko's presence in his mind. The white tiger had been resting but was now alert, sensing Taewoo's excitement. "We need to adapt those ancient tactics for our situation," Taewoo said. "Hit and run attacks. Use the tigers to break their coordination, then strike hard and fast." Dr. Yuna looked concerned. "We only have 12 combat-ready tigers. The next group won't be ready for 2 weeks. And we can't risk losing the ones we have," Jiwoo added. A technician rushed into the lab. "General, we've intercepted Krav communications. They're gathering a large force, at least 1,000 soldiers, headed this way." General Choi's face darkened. "How long?" 3 days, maybe 4. Silence fell over the room. 1,000 Krav against 12 tigers and fewer than 100 human soldiers. "Even with the tigers, we can't defeat those numbers," Jiwoo said quietly. Taewoo closed his eyes, feeling Baeko's strength through their link. When he opened them again, he had made a decision. "We won't try to defeat them all," he said. "We'll use the tiger tactics General Choi mentioned. Strike their leaders, disrupt their hive mind, make them fight each other." "A psychological war," Dr. Haiyan nodded. "Target their deepest fears." General Choi studied Taewoo with new respect. "We'll need to move fast. Prepare mobile units. Take the fight outside before they reach the facility." Dr. Yuna stood. "I'll prepare the tigers for extended operations. Their neural implants will need adjustments for longer periods away from the base." They all felt it. A dangerous hope. They were still outnumbered and outgunned. But for the first time since the invasion began, humans had found a weakness in the seemingly unstoppable Krav forces. As the meeting ended, Taewoo went to visit Baeko. The massive white tiger sensed him coming and was waiting by the habitat door. "Ready to hunt?" Tewu asked. Through their link, the answer came as a feeling: eager, powerful, ready. The tigers were going to war. Night fell over the forest. Under the cover of darkness, Tewu and 11 other tiger handlers moved silently through the trees. Each human was paired with their tiger, communicating through neural links rather than words. Beiko padded beside Tewu, his white fur almost glowing in the moonlight. The tiger's senses were far sharper than any human's. Through their link, Tewu could feel what Beiko felt: the scent of crab in the air, the vibrations of their machines through the ground. 2 kilometers to the crab base, Juu whispered. Her tiger, Bora, moved like a purple shadow in the darkness. The crab had set up a forward base in a valley. From their mountain hideout, General Choi had tracked crab movements for days. This base was a key communication point for the approaching invasion force. "Remember the plan," Tewu said quietly. "Target their communication towers first. Then hit their power systems. Make them panic." The team split into 4 groups of 3. Tewu, Juu, and a young officer named Junho led the first group, taking the north approach. Through their tiger links, they stayed coordinated without radio signals that the crab might detect. When they reached the edge of the forest, they could see the crab base. Tall metal towers blinked with red lights. Insect-like soldiers moved in perfect patterns around the perimeter. "They still don't know about the tigers," Juu said. "They think the mountain attack was just lucky." Tewu nodded. "Let's show them how wrong they are." On his mental command, Beiko moved to attack position. The other tigers did the same, their muscles tensing for the sprint. Tewu looked at his watch. 3, 2, 1. Now. All 12 tigers burst from the forest at once, moving faster than the human eye could follow. Beiko reached the nearest guard tower in seconds, leaping up its metal side with impossible strength. The crab soldiers barely had time to raise their weapons before the tiger was among them. Through the neural link, Tewu felt Beiko's fierce joy in the hunt. The tiger tore through the crab with terrible efficiency. Alarms wailed across the base. The sound of roaring tigers filled the night air, amplified by the valley walls. Tewu and the other handlers ran forward, armed with special weapons designed by Dr. Hyen, sonic devices that mimicked tiger roars at volumes that could crack crab exoskeletons. The effect was immediate. The perfect order of the crab soldiers collapsed. Some fired wildly into the darkness. Others fled from their posts. Many turned on each other in blind panic. Juu and Bora targeted the main communication tower. The purple tiger climbed the structure while Juu covered her with sonic blasts. Together, they planted explosives on the critical relay equipment. "Main tower ready to blow," Juu reported through her comm. Tewu watched as the other teams placed explosives on power generators and weapon systems. The crab were in complete disarray, their hive mind connection broken by tiger-induced fear. "All teams report in," Tewu called. One by one, the teams confirmed they had completed their objectives. The tigers had done their work perfectly, fast, silent, and utterly terrifying to the crab. "Fall back to extraction point," Tewu ordered. The tigers and their handlers melted back into the forest. When they reached safe distance, Tewu gave the signal. Behind them, the crab base erupted in a series of explosions. The communication tower collapsed first, followed by the power systems. In minutes, the entire forward base was dark and silent. General Choi's voice came through their comms. "Excellent work. Return to base immediately." As they made their way back through the forest, Tewu felt a surge of pride through his link with Beiko. The tiger's satisfaction matched his own. "This is just the beginning," Juu said, walking beside him. "But the crab will adapt. They'll start hunting the tigers specifically." Tewu nodded. "Yes, but now they fear us." And fear spreads quickly in a hive mind. Back at the mountain base, news of their success had already spread. More officers volunteered to bond with the next generation of tigers. For the first time since the invasion, humans had hope. The tigers had returned, and the hunt had just begun. For 2 weeks, the tiger team struck Krav positions across the region. Each attack spread more fear through the alien hive mind. But the Krav were learning. Taegu studied the latest satellite images with growing concern. "They're surrounding the mountain," he told General Choi. "At least 5,000 troops, maybe more." The command center was busy with officers and scientists preparing for the coming attack. Dr. Yuma had accelerated the training of 15 new tigers, but they weren't fully ready yet. "They've adapted faster than we expected," General Choi said grimly. "Their new units have reinforced helmets, protection against the sonic weapons, and they've developed some kind of shield against tiger attacks." Dr. Hyen entered with his tablet. "Worse news. They've created a new type of soldier, one without the fear response to tigers. I detected different brain patterns in the ones we captured last week." Ju frowned. "How is that possible?" "They're removing the parts of their brains that process fear," Dr. Hyen explained. "These new soldiers are less intelligent, but they don't panic around the tigers." An alarm blared through the facility. On the main screen, they watched as dozens of Krav drilling machines began boring into the mountainside. "They're hitting us from all sides," a technician reported. "Main entrance, emergency exits, even through the old mine shafts." General Choi made a quick decision. "Initiate evacuation protocol Delta. We need to get the research team and the tigers out." "What about the facility?" Taegu asked. "We have to abandon it," the general said. "But we'll make sure the Krav regret finding us." The evacuation began immediately. Staff rushed to pack essential equipment. The tigers sensed the danger and grew restless in their habitats. Through the neural link, Taegu felt Beiko's tension. "It's okay," he told the white tiger. "We're moving to a new hunting ground." Underground transports were loaded with research data, equipment, and personnel. Dr. Yuna supervised the loading of the younger tigers, still in their growth tanks. "We need more time," she told Taegu. "The evacuation isn't complete." On the monitors, they watched the Krav forces getting closer. Multiple tunnels were being breached at once. General Choi stepped forward. "I'll leave a defense team. We'll hold them off while you complete the evacuation." "That's a suicide mission," Ju objected. The general smiled slightly. "I'm too old to bond with a tiger anyway. This is how I can help." He turned to Taegu. "Commander Park, you need to split the tigers into 3 teams. Take different routes to the secondary bases. Don't let them track you." Taegu wanted to argue, but he knew the general was right. "Yes, sir." General Choi gathered 30 volunteers for the defense team. They would fight to buy time for the others to escape. As the first transport prepared to leave, the general gave final instructions. "Dr. Yuna, continue the breeding program at the Seoul facility. Lieutenant Kim, take your tigers to the East Base. Commander Park, head west with your team. Dr. Lee, go south. Stay separated until it's safe to regroup." The first Krav soldiers broke through the outer defenses. The sound of gunfire echoed through the tunnels. Taegu led Beiko to the transport. The white tigers seemed to understand the urgency, moving quickly and quietly. Before they left, Taegu grasped General Choi's hand. "We'll come back for you." The old general shook his head. "No, you won't. You'll take the fight to them. That's an order." He pressed a data chip into Taewu's hand. "My family's records of tiger warfare. Use them." As their transport pulled away through a hidden tunnel, Taewu heard the battle begin in earnest. Through the neural link with Beiko, he felt the tiger's sadness. The big cat understood they were leaving friends behind. The mountain shook with explosions as General Choi triggered the self-destruct sequence. The facility collapsed, burying many Krav soldiers under tons of rock. The tigers had lost their den. Now they would have to hunt across the open world. 6 months passed. What began as 3 small teams of tigers and handlers had grown into a powerful resistance force. Across the ruins of human cities, word spread of the tiger warriors who struck fear into the alien invaders. Taegu stood on a hill overlooking what was once Seoul. Parts of the city glowed with strange purple light. Krav structures built upon human ruins. Beside him, Baeko had grown even larger, his white fur now bearing battle scars that matched Taewoo's own. "Signal from the Eastern team," said one of Taewoo's officers, handing him a secure tablet. The message was from Juwoo. Operation Mirror complete. Krav command post destroyed. 30 Tigers deployed. No losses. Moving to rendezvous point. Taewoo smiled. Juwoo had become a brilliant leader of her own Tiger force. The years of martial arts training she had before the invasion made her perfect for the lightning-fast raids they now specialized in. Through their quantum communication network, one of the few technologies humans still had that the Krav couldn't track, Taewoo called a war council. The holographic images of Juwoo, Dr. Hyun, and Dr. Yuna appeared before him. "The breeding program has exceeded expectations," Dr. Yunha reported. "We now have 312 combat-ready tigers. The second generation born in the wild are showing even stronger abilities, faster, smarter, and with better neural connection potential." Dr. Hyun looked tired but excited. "I've analyzed the latest Krav communications. Their hive mind is showing signs of systemic breakdown. The constant tiger attacks have created a permanent state of fear that's spreading through their collective consciousness." "We're winning?" Taewoo asked, hardly believing it. "Not yet," Juwoo cautioned, "but they're vulnerable. For the first time, their coordination is failing. Different hive clusters are making contradictory decisions." Taewoo felt Baeko's excitement through their link. Over the months, their connection had deepened beyond simple commands. They now shared complex thoughts and strategies. "It's time for Operation Tiger's Roar," Taewoo said. The plan had been developing for months. Instead of small strikes, they would launch a coordinated global attack on all major Krav command centers simultaneously. Every Tiger team worldwide would move at once, creating maximum disruption to the alien hive mind. "The Tigers are ready," Dr. Yuma confirmed. "And I have news. Some of the wild tigers, normal ones that survived in remote regions, are joining the enhanced tigers in attacks. It's as if they sensed their role in this fight." This was unexpected but welcome news. Earth's natural predators were joining the battle alongside their enhanced cousins. 3 days later, as the moon rose full over the ruined world, Taewoo gave the signal. Across every continent, tigers and their human partners moved against Krav strongholds. Through the neural network, Taewoo could feel the collective power of hundreds of tigers hunting as one. Baeko led Taewoo's team into the heart of the Seoul Command Center. The white tiger moved with deadly grace, tearing through Krav soldiers before they could react. The newer Krav breeds, the ones without fear, fought back fiercely, but they lacked the coordination of the original hive. North American teams reporting success. Came a message through Taewoo's comm. European teams breaking through Krav defenses, while the ground forces created chaos. Juwoo and Dr. Hyun led a special team to infiltrate the main Krav orbital command ship. Their mission was to plant a device that would broadcast tiger sounds directly into the heart of the Krav communication system. From his position in Seoul, Taewoo watched the night sky light up as Krav ships began firing on each other in confusion. The hive mind was collapsing. Through his link with Baeko, Taewoo felt something new. Not just the tiger's thoughts, but echoes of other tigers, hundreds of them, all hunting together. Somehow, the neural implants had created their own network, a predator hive mind to counter the alien one. For the first time since the invasion began, Taewoo allowed himself to feel real hope. They were still outnumbered, but the tigers had returned in force, and the hunt was turning in humanity's favor. Dawn broke over Seoul. For the first time in years, the sky was clear of Krav ships. Taewoo stood on the roof of a half-ruined building, watching the sunrise with Baeko by his side. The massive white tiger's fur glowed in the morning light. 3 days had passed since Operation Tiger's Roar. The Krav fleet had broken orbit in a panic, abandoning their ground forces. Without connection to the main hive mind, The remaining Krav soldiers had scattered, easy prey for the tiger teams that hunted them down. Taewoo's comm device beeped. "Commander Park," came Ju-woo's voice. "The orbital station is secure. Dr. Hyun has accessed their navigation data. The Krav fleet is retreating from the entire solar system. Any sign they might return?" Taewoo asked. "Not according to their flight paths," Ju-woo replied. "They're moving as fast as possible away from Earth. Dr. Hyun says their collective consciousness now registers Earth as the world of tigers, a place to be avoided at all costs." Taewoo smiled and ran his hand through Bako's thick fur. Through their neural link, he felt the tiger's pride and satisfaction. At the temporary headquarters set up in the old Seoul subway system, the human leaders gathered to plan Earth's recovery. Dr. Yuma presented her latest findings. "The enhanced tigers are thriving," she reported. "They're breeding naturally now, passing their modifications to their offspring. Each generation shows more intelligence and stronger bonding abilities." "And the wild tigers?" Taewoo asked. "Increasing in numbers too," Dr. Yunha said with a smile. "It seems our enhanced tigers have encouraged the wild ones to breed. Tigers are returning to forests and mountains where they haven't lived for centuries." Dr. Hyun added, "We've discovered something remarkable in the Krav data. They've invaded dozens of worlds, but always avoided planets with large predator cats. Our tigers didn't just save Earth, they made the Krav add our entire planet to their do not invade list." 1 month later, Taewoo and Bako stood together on a mountain ridge, watching a valley below where both enhanced and wild tigers roamed freely. The neural link between them had evolved beyond what the scientists had planned. They no longer needed the implants to communicate. Their bond had become something deeper and more natural. "We'll need to rebuild differently," Taewoo told the gathered tiger handlers. "Share the world with them. They saved us. Now we must protect their place in it." Ju-woo nodded. "The tigers are Earth's guardians now, and we are their partners." In the years that followed, humanity rebuilt their civilization with a new understanding of their place in nature. Cities were designed to include green corridors where tigers and other wildlife could move freely. The tiger handlers became rangers and guardians, maintaining the balance between human and wild spaces. Dr. Yunha's program expanded to resurrect other extinct predators. Wolves returned to forests, lions to savannas. Each played their role in restoring Earth's natural balance, creating an ecosystem that would naturally resist any future invasion. 10 years after the Krav retreat, an aging Taewoo sat beside an equally aged Bako on their favorite hilltop. The white tiger's muzzle had turned gray, but his eyes were still bright and fierce. Below them stretched a recovered landscape, a patchwork of human settlements, and wild spaces where tigers roamed freely. Through their link, Taewoo felt Bako's contentment. The old tiger had trained many younger ones, passing on his knowledge and skills. His children and grandchildren now patrolled Earth's forests and mountains, some bonded with humans, others wild and free. Far beyond the solar system, a Krav scout ship approached the edge of Earth's space. Its sensors detected the life signs of thousands of tigers across the planet's surface. Without hesitation, the ship altered course, sending a single message back to the Krav homeworld: "World of tigers, approach forbidden." Earth had found its defenders. The tigers had returned, and they were here to stay. The end.